to my channel. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully you will subscribe, like, and share. I truly appreciate you checking my channel. Today's video is special because I am bringing you with me to visit the Lockwood Mathews Mansion here in Norwalk. It's an important landmark here in Norwalk. It's a lot of history that I will share with you later. It's two families, the Lockwoods and the Mathews, who live in this mansion. I am bringing you there because a friend of mine told me they have a Christmas display. In this video, I'll show you how it looks, the mansion looks during this winter, this Christmas season. And I will also share with you how it looks during the summer months. My good friend from Chicago came here to visit, so we visited the mansion. So we have pictures and all to show you. So stay tuned and hopefully you like it. All right, here we go. We're going.
I just arrived at the mansion. I have a tour scheduled for 2 p.m. This is how the mansion looks like from the outside. The Lockwood Mathews Mansion Museum is regarded as one of the earliest and most significant Second Empire-style country houses in the United States, built by the renowned, wealthy railroad tycoon Legrand Lockwood from 1864 to 1868. The mansion, with its unparalleled architecture and interiors, illustrates magnificently the beauty and splendor of the Victorian era. With Lockwood's financial issues and his untimely death in 1872 resulted in the loss of the estate, then known as the Elm Park. In 1876, the property was sold to Chalres D. Mathews and his wife Rebecca Mathews, a prominent importer from New York, and his family resided in the mansion until 1938. In 1941, the estate was sold to the City of Norwalk and designated as a public park. When the building was threatened with demolition in the 1960s, concerned citizens galvanized to save the mansion in one of the most important and hard-fought preservation battles in Connecticut's history. These local activists succeeded in saving the mansion in 1965 and later formed the Lockwood Mathews Mansion Museum of Norwalk, which was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1971. This is how the back of the mansion looks like. Amazing architecture. The mansion was a technological marvel of that time. It had an indoor hot and cold plumbing, gas lighting, ventilation, and a central heating system that burned a ton of coal a day. Indeed, there is no comparable mansion museum in the state of Connecticut. Built during the Civil War and still inhabited during the Great Depression, there is no institution in Connecticut that is better able to bring to life these significant events in American history. Proud to live in the city of Norwalk and have this amazing landmark. Here I am going in now to the entrance of the mansion. Doors start with this double black walnut front doors going to the vestibule or the entrance area. There are Christmas lights and Christmas trees nicely decorated. This is the same entrance where the Lockwood and Mathews families and their guests would have entered the mansion. The plaster walls and ceilings have been repaired and restored back to their original colors in 1976. These 4 columns of polished Florentine marble dominate the entrance hall. Visitors can see 2 Herber Brothers chairs, which are the Lockwood era. This is a portrait of Legrand Lockwood and his wife Anna Louisa Benedict. This is in the library. The library is one of the most magnificent rooms in the first floor. The mantel, the door frames, the bookcases are of hand-carved English and American black walnut embellished with polished steel and strapwork ornaments in the early Renaissance style. The ceiling is covered in black walnut panels with blue, rose, and gold centers. The room was designed and furnished by Leon Marcotti to hold 3,000 volumes and bookcases, a rare book vault, and drawers for manuscripts and maps, magnificent double doors, and each glass open to the conservatory. Next room is the Gilded Age Conservatory with its ribbed half-glass dome and Minton tiles, an excellent example of an early domestic conservatory architecture in the United States. Accessed directly from the library, the small yet distinctive room has been brought to life with a rich installation of silk plants, pots, and furnishings of the era. This is how the conservatory looks like in the summer. In 1850, the first Christmas trees were sold commercially in America. These trees were chosen and cut at random from the woods. President Franklin Pierce displayed the first White House Christmas tree. This is another look of another Christmas tree here in the 1860s. It's a little bigger now and decorated. This next room is the music room. It's an example of a conserved but not restored period room. The original vine and rosette motifs decorating the walls with the paneled ceiling are from 1868. The room's name derives not only from its current contents, which includes a 19th century harp, but from the decorations of the room itself. The instruments painted on the ceiling, inlaid in the pocket doors, and carved into the room's marble mantel. The fireplace is of Italian marble over which the magnificent glass panel depicts the Roman goddess Pomona. This illustration was drawn by Pieri Galland, the same artist who painted the mural on the drawing room's ceiling. The next room is a dining room. Both the Lockwoods and the Mathews had a two-table arrangement with each table setting 12. Opposite wall from the bay window housing one of the Mathews tables are two doors. The one closest to the drawing room is a silver vault with shelves and a sink. It is a double door, one of wood and one of iron. The iron doors serve to protect the contents from both fire and burglary. Today you can still see the pieces of both the Lockwoods and the Mathews dinnerware on display. Here in the dining room also show the Christmas tree evolution in the 1920s. It's a bigger Christmas tree with more decorations and with more lights. And to light a Christmas tree before was so expensive, so you had to be very wealthy to afford to have a lighted Christmas tree. This next room is the drawing room and card room. This is one of my favorite rooms. The decoration of the room is centered on the Roman gods and emperors. From the doors, the bronze medallions, the painted portraits, and the ceilings. It's beautiful. Adjoining the drawing room is a small card room with delicate inland woods such as bird's eye maple, boxwood, and ebony. The room reveals three of Legrand Lockwood's great interests: music, art, and poetry. It's a beautiful small room. I love it. And there's a beautiful little Christmas tree here. The next room is a rotunda. Features a cove ceiling topped by a double 42 feet skylight rising above the floor. The skylight not only acted as a natural light source, but was essential in the original 19th century ventilation system. Legrand Lockwood, a great patron of the arts, used the rotunda to display his collection of paintings and other statuary. Grand staircase dominates the north side of the rotunda. Rising from the first floor in a single flight to a landing, the imperial staircase divides and then continues as two stairways to the gallery above, made primarily of black walnut. This staircase cost $50,000 to construct. Access to a passage from the entrance hall or the rotunda is the billiards room. Originally, there were two billiard tables and also a ping pong table in this room, but now the billiards room is used for contemporary art exhibits, also a meeting space, and as a venue available to host any private events. I love this intricate table display here. And then, of course, the Christmas tree in the 1930s. It's more like now. All the lights and the decorations is bigger too. This was the end of our tour. We're only allowed to tour the first floor during this Christmas season or the winter season. These pictures here I'm showing were the sights during my visit with my very good friend Evelyn from Chicago. This was during the summer 3 years ago. The 62-room, 44,000 square feet mansion was listed in the National Register of Historic Places and was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1978. In 1941, the City of Norwalk bought the mansion for $170,000. The grounds were transformed into a public park while the house was used for office space and storage. By 1963, the city were determined to demolish it to build a new city hall. It was only saved by an equally determined group of people to preserve the mansion. It was first opened to the public as a house museum in 1967, and in 2007 it received a $6 million renovation. It remains both a museum and events venue and has featured in several movies including House of Dark Shadows in 1970 and The Famous Stepford Wives in 2004. At that time, we were lucky to check the servants' quarters. A door off the grand staircase leads to the servants' quarters on the two mezzanine floors above the original kitchen and pantries. A double hallway on the second floor of the rotunda enabled servants to go about their daily tasks and duties unseen by their employees and guests. This is what the servants wore during that time. In 2017, the Lockwood Mathews Mansion won the most prestigious national award given by the American Association of State and Local History. Then in 2020, the Lockwood Mathews Mansion Museum proudly announces that it has won a prestigious award from the Connecticut League of History Organizations. Thank you for coming with me and visiting this historic place and a national historic landmark. Hoping to showcase more of these places. Thanks for watching. Be kind, be loving, and be inspired.